Shalom. Call Laimla Allahayna wa Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai scattered across the earth. This is your brother Allah coming to you with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson will be entitled This Could Be It. If this comes to the U.S., then brace yourself. But let me change it. Brace yourselves. And Lord willing, this lesson will be a land back off of the video that the elder Amawanga Bar put up. And his channel is GMS Awakening 144 Ha Amawanga Bar. Right, and the video is entitled as you see. Right, so I highly suggest you go watch the elder brother's video. So yeah, Lord willing, this will be a land back, and Lord willing, the elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai be edified. So let me show this. So the heading of this article reads, Ebola is real. Uganda to try juices and shut schools early to contain outbreak. And this is from a day ago. Oh shit. Right. So this is from Friday, November 18th, which is currently the 19th, right? So yeah, man, so you have an Ebola outbreak out there in Uganda. So right here, dealing with Ebola, it says a virus that causes severe bleeding, organ failure, and can lead to death. Humans may spread the virus to other humans through contact with bodily fluids such as blood. Right? How it spreads: by blood products, unclean needles, or unscreened blood, by touching a contaminated surface, by saliva, kissing, or shared drinks. Right, so this is, let's look up the definition of the word pestilence, which pestilence and plague pretty much are the same thing. Right, so for the word pestilence, it says a fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague, which the word bubonic, let's see what that means. It says causing or characterized by swollen, inflamed lymph nodes in the armpit or groin. Right, and then let's look up plague. It says a contagious bacterial disease characterized by fever and delirium, typically with the formation of buboes, bubonic plague, and sometimes infection of the lungs, pneumonic plague. It also says cause continual trouble or distress to. Right? Which, these different pestilences and things of that nature, it's prophecy. So first, let's get the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. Matthew 24:3. And it reads, And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right, and these particular things that are taking place, kind of, what's the word? They show what times we're in, right? But and if the end of the world isn't talking about the end of the actual earth, but rather it's speaking of the end of the age wherein is the rulership of Esau or Edom, which is the so-called white man. Right? Let's prove that. So when you go into that word world, right, it says period of time, age. And this particular definition is the one that applies to this, passage, if you will. Right, so it's talking about the end of an age, and to show that it's not talking about the end of the actual world, meaning the earth. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 1 and 4, and it reads, "One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever." Right, so the earth itself will never come to naught. You have to remember the earth was created for the pleasure of man, and man will always be around. So therefore the earth will always be around as well. Right? There's no meteor that's going to hit earth, and no, man. That shit, no. Because you have these different scientists and philosophers that believe that. It's incorrect, right? The earth will never come to naught. And will endure forever. Endure meaning remain. So and then proving that it's talking about the end of a rulership. This is 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. It says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that falleth," right? Jacob representing the Israelites, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Seminole Indians, right? Which the determination of your ethnicity is it's determined by the seed of your father. There's no such thing as mixed, right? Your ethnicity is determined by the seed of your father. So if your father is a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American Indian, or Seminole Indian, then you are that same, ethnicity, right? So if and if that's your ethnicity, you're an Israelite from a particular tribe, right? So let's see. And proving that this is talking about the so-called white man when it said for Esau is the end of the world. Well, let's read this. Job 9 and 24, right? "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?" And who currently runs the earth? The so-called white man, pretty much, man. And the word hand means management, jurisdiction, authority, care, so on and so forth. And all of that has been given into the hand of the nation of people classified as the wicked, which are the Edomites. Right? How do we know that? Malachi 1 and 1. Let me pull it up in the blue letter. Malachi, the first chapter and the first verse. And it reads, "The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Verse 2, I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, when hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever." Right? So the Edomites will rule in the latter time. Right? And that's what you have taking place. So Japheth isn't the one that will be ruling, man, in the latter time. Right? So let me see, let me go back to Matthew, the 24th chapter. Matthew, the 24th chapter, and the 4th verse, and it reads, And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Right, so terrible times await, the people, man. As the scriptures say, we'll get it, 2nd Esdras 8 and 50. But let me go to the book of 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter and the 18th verse. Getting ready to close out in a bit. Verse 18, it reads, The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. And what shall I do when these evils shall come? Verse 19, Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sin and scourges for amendment. The word amendment meaning change. The word amendment going into change, right? But the word amend means change. I'm not sure what the mint part, it may mean, because mint makes me think of mental, which goes to the mind, and amend means change. So, but ultimately it's dealing with change, right? Scourges for change. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. 22, For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So once again, terrible times await the people, man. And I say the people because ultimately the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushai would be just fine, right? As the scriptures say, the Lord have care for his elect. The scriptures also say, let me get that. This is Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter and the 9th verse. And it reads, They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth, and such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. For grace and mercy is to his saints, and he have care for his elect. Let me also get this. Isaiah 65 and verse 13, Therefore thus saith the Lord power, Behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. So the elect are going to be just fine, right? Job, the 5th chapter, and the 19th verse. It reads, He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. 22, At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beast of the earth, because as the scriptures say, the beast of the earth shall change their places. Right, so you're going to have a lot of death by way of beast. Verse 23, For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field shall be at peace with thee. Right? Because the Lord can put a spirit upon a particular beast to take you out. Right? As we know, the Lord is in full control. And you read about that when you go to Ecclesiasticus, the 39th chapter and the 28th verse. I'll just read it. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction they pour out their force, and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and a sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Right, so going back to the book of 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter and the 18th verse. right, and reread it. So let me get 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter, starting at verse 5. And it reads, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Verse 6, For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Also, you got the book of 2nd Esdras, the 8th chapter, and the 50th verse. And it reads, For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. Right? So let me read this. 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, and the 37th verse. And it reads, Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Right? Verse 38, As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth great pains can pass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. So that's pretty much the point. Spirit was on me to bring that out, and land back off of the elder brother. And, Barakatah to you, brother. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified. Once again and forever, all praises, honor, and glorification unto our mighty, marvelous, and terrible power. Call Halaim La Alahayanawa Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations as well as health and wellness unto the hopeful elect of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai scattered across the earth. Oh, shoot, I meant to get this as well. Let me get both of these. Hebrews 10 and 31. Right? It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Let me also get Psalms 91, right? I meant to get these. Well, I meant to get Psalms 91, rather. And so it reads, He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Right? The secret place of the Most High is this truth. So those that abide in this truth are going to remain under the shadow of the Almighty, which the word shadow goes into protection. Right? So those that abide in this truth are going to, those that dwell in this truth, right, are going to abide under the protection of the Almighty. Right? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. So with that, see you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Once again, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Call Halaim La Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakah Kwadash. Let me see. Shadow. So for the word shadow, it says shadow, shade as protection, which that's the meaning, protection, right? So see you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Wa Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Baba Kasha Abba Baba. Shalom, DT, soon and stay sharp. Keep pushing Akim. And you sincere Aquat out there listening and learning. Shalom.